What's really good? Welcome back to another Friday night live of the Sanchez Show. Shout out to all the supporters, man. The comment section is going crazy. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube and Spotify, the Sanchez Show, streaming across all major platforms. Do remember on Sunday night, my brother and I, Trip Young, and myself, we do the collaboration episode at 7 p.m. But the comment section is going crazy right now, man. Will Gordon will be joining me very shortly. Vernon Brownlee will be joining me very shortly. As we do every Friday night, we're picking the whole slate of NFL games. And of course, we got some NBA talk to get into. We got these questions to get into. And then we're bringing back, if you've been a subscriber or a listener or just somebody who's paid attention in the past, we have the 401k pick of the week, which is our NFL picks. But there was also a segment I introduced a year ago called Fuck With It or Fuck Out of Here, where I asked a question and I needed an overly opinionated answer on it. Obviously, starting with Fuck With It or Fuck Out of Here. So we bringing that back tonight as well. But until the guys join the live, we're going to get into some of these questions, man. Kyrie Thompson, you were the first of the night, so we're going to get to that, man. Kyrie, he wants to know, should CJ Stroud be in the MVP discussion? Guys, if there's any issues with the audio, let me know as well. I know my internet connection was acting up a little earlier today, so let me know if y'all having problems with anything. But should CJ Stroud be in the MVP discussion? No, he should not be. He's having a great season. He's more than likely going to be the offensive rookie of the year. He's probably going to be an alternate for the Pro Bowl. Obviously, I think Mahomes, Burrow, Tua will lock up Pro Bowl slots with Josh Allen as the next tier quarterback. So you will have CJ Stroud as a potential alternate. But MVP, no. And here's why. Also, don't forget Trevor Lawrence. I mentioned quarterbacks, Pro Bowls. Trevor Lawrence will be ahead of him as well. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags lead that division. They're going to win that division. The Texans are going to make the playoffs if they make the playoffs as a wild card. It will not be as a division winner. So historically, you don't win the MVP from a wild card perspective. You have to win your division. You have to be one of the best teams in your conference to even be in the conversation. So there's that part of it. The second part of it, like I said, is they're probably not going to make the playoffs anyway. Right now, as they stand, they are 4-4. They're 500. They would have to have a tremendous second half of the season for him to get into that conversation. But I still think the leaders of that conversation are going to be Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. And then if you want to go skill position guys, you're talking about Tyreek Hill. So CJ Stroud is the offensive rookie of the year, MVP. No, I would not go that far. Also from Kyrie, wants to know, Niners move defensive coordinator Steve Wilks from the booth to the sideline. Will this move help 49ers 3-game skid? I don't know if that move specifically helps their 3-game skid. I think more than anything, health helps their 3-game skid. This skid started with the injuries to Debo and McCaffrey and Trent Williams. Obviously, they picked up Chase Young on the defensive side of the ball. I think they do start to get themselves right this week, though it is a very tough matchup against a Jacksonville Jaguar team that I think is very, very good. And I think the move itself, it just allows him to be a little more connected with the guys on the field. But more than anything, the health of the 49ers is what's going to stop the 3-game skid. And I'll get a little more in depth when we start to pick games in a little bit. And Vern just hit me up as well. He's going to be joining very shortly. Shout out to D'Angelo. Who needs to do more, Deshaun or Lamar? That's a really good question. I think for the dynamic of their team and the way their team is built, it is Lamar. This Cleveland Brown defense is a top 3 defense. This Cleveland Brown defense has shown that they can win games with the backup quarterback. The Ravens, on the other hand, though their defense is playing very well, they still rely on Lamar to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So I think in terms of who needs to do more, and I'm assuming, D'Angelo, you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming you mean who needs to do more for their team to be successful. I'm going to say Lamar. Lamar's had a phenomenal start to the season. Lamar is, again, making up for the loss of the injuries at running back, making up for some of the inconsistent play at wide receiver. Lamar's doing all these things and elevating the Ravens, and now their defense is starting to come around. On the flip side, Deshaun has not looked good at all with the Cleveland Browns, yet their defense has thrived. They found a way to beat the 49ers. They found a way to win some games this year with and without Deshaun. So I think it is Lamar. D-Man, this is to the point we were talking about the 49ers. Debo and Trent return to practice. Will San Fran end the 3-game skid off the bye? So, D-Man, short answer, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to get a little more in depth when we start to pick the games. Again, guys, we're going to be picking every game on the slate for week 10. So I will get to that in a second. But the short answer, I do think they end the slide. I think Kyle Shanahan coming off the bye is just as effective as an Andy Reid. Once he gets that extra time to implement a game plan and study an opponent, he makes it very difficult for you to anticipate anything they do. And then with the return of Debo, with the return of their left tackle, I think they get right. I also think Brock Purdy needed a week to reset, so the bye week will be beneficial for him. Derek Thompson, should Justin Fields take another snap for the Bears? Oh man. No. I'll say no. I thought the Bears should have moved on from Justin Fields this past offseason, though I will credit their general manager. He made some great moves in getting some more draft capital with the move that they made with the Panthers. He's trying to collect as much talent around the quarterback position as possible, but at some point you do need to address the quarterback position. And this is a draft that the Bears are probably going to have 2 of the top 5 picks. Even with their win last night, they're looking at probably having their own pick, which is going to be a top 5 pick. And we all know they have Carolina pick, which looks like it's going to be the number 1 pick. There's no way you could tell me that you come out of the top 5. Even if you don't take Caleb Williams at number 1, there's no way that you pass up on Derek May out of North Carolina within one of those top 5 picks. So I do not think Justin Fields takes another snap for the Bears just because I think they let Bagent play out the rest of the year. You let Fields get as healthy as possible, and then you try to unload Fields on a team that needs a quarterback that won't be drafting high enough. We got some great questions coming in, man. And hold on, I got Vernon Brownlee right here. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get him in here right now, guys. Is Myles Garrett the MVP? No, he's not. He's going to be probably defensive player of the year, and the second half of the season will dictate that because J.J. Watt has had a great season. Micah Parsons has had a great season as well. So I don't think Myles Garrett is the MVP. Defensive player of the year, maybe, but not MVP. Again, the case, first of all, defensive player to win MVP is damn near impossible. That's first. Secondly, you would have to not only be a first place team, you would have to by far have the best record in the NFL for anybody to even consider the defensive player to be the MVP of the league. I don't think he fits the criteria for any of those things. So I'm going to say no on that. We got Vernon Brownlee in the building. Vernon, just let me know when you're ready, bro. Hold on, let me take you off mute. You ready, bro?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hey, the comment section was jumping, man. I wanted to get to some of these right here before you and Will. Listen, the supporters already know Will is 9:15-ish. We know that I haven't heard from him. I text him. We waiting for him to join the live. But Vern's in here with his commander's hat on. We're gonna go through some of these questions before we get to our actual rundown because we got a lot of questions in here, Vern.
Oh, yeah. That's bad. Yeah. Are we starting with that question?
We could start. I've gone through a couple of them, but we'll go with this one right here since this is the one that was up right now. What do you think?
No. I just don't see a defensive player being MVP unless they're truly dominant. I mean, Myles Garrett is a dominant player, but he would have to be. Remember that year when Khalil Mack started, when he got traded to the Bears and he had like 2-4? I mean, you got to be doing that every game in and out. I mean, you have to be to the point where you are winning games as a defensive player. And Myles Garrett, as great as he is, he's just not doing it. I don't really think anyone can. Realistically, the MVP is going to be a quarterback. I mean, people thought it could be McCaffrey, but the 49ers have kind of fallen off.
Right.
And McCaffrey has been slightly injured, but I mean, he's one of the best defensive players in the league, but he's not an MVP candidate, in my opinion.
I agree. I don't think he is. Will, let me know. I don't see your camera on. I see Will Gordon is joining the live, but I don't see his camera on. So Will, let me know once you're ready and I'll bring you on. Ron, I like this one. We're going to come back to this one because this is part of something that the segment that I said we bring it back. Fuck with it or fuck out of here. So this question is going to kind of get attached to that. So we're going to wait on that one. D-Man, big deal or no deal? Bills held a players only meeting. I'll start off. It's a big deal because the Bills, I think they realized that their window is starting to close. A couple years ago, we felt they were the biggest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs. They lose in that dramatic second round against the Chiefs. Then last year, they get blown out in the second round. They haven't looked good against any real legitimate contenders over the last 2 years. Coming off that loss to Cincinnati, I think they sense that their window is starting to close a little bit. The shine is off of them. Nobody is really scared of that passing attack. Josh Allen turns the ball over way too much. And I think they're starting to realize that they are no longer a threat in the AFC. But Vern, what you think?
When we say big deal, I mean the Bills shouldn't be a threat to win anything anymore. They had devastating injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Last year, they struggled against a backup quarterback from Miami, got blown out in the second round. And as we saw, the drama between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs is real. Head coach, I think the whole Bills, I guess, mantra or their facade is now, has been uncovered. So I guess it's a big deal, but the Bills to me were never truly a threat. You had Ravens, you got Bengals, you got Chiefs, you got even the Jaguars that I will put over them. So,
Yeah, I agree. Will, I don't know. I'll show you. Let me see if we can get him in here. His camera's still acting up. Let me know once you're ready, Will. Let's see. I like this one. Shout out to Pooh. Pooh's been a constant supporter of ours every week. This basketball related. Pooh wants to know, before Michael Jordan, who was considered the NBA GOAT? Vern, go ahead. I know who it was for me, but go ahead, Vern.
I mean, who do I consider, or who was considered?
All right, so I'll put it this way. In your opinion, before Michael Jordan, who did you think was the GOAT?
Man, I'll probably go Wilt or Kareem.
That's fair. For me, I had Kareem.
I mean, either one, I could. I'm not going to argue either one.
Yeah, I'll say this, and this is one of the reasons why I've recently wanted to go away from just the singular GOAT conversation, because it's unfair. Obviously there are certain guys that are before our era, so we don't really realize the impact that they had at that time. But as a young student of the game and somebody who just really loved the sport and doing some research, to me, Kareem was the one person that continued to jump off the page. That just seemed like he was just so dominant over a long period of time, and obviously extending, his career in LA and doing what they did there with him and Magic. To me, I had Kareem, and that's why I always say it's tough, but I have Kareem either at 2 or 2B, him and LeBron right there.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. I think it was, to me, I don't really think Michael Jordan is an undisputed GOAT, to be honest with you. But I know the question is, but I wouldn't argue with you, Eric. I mean, I think Wilt is just a better player, but I understand Kareem as well.
Hey, Will, you got 2 tabs open, because we getting feedback coming on your end as well. I don't know if you have the other tab open as well.
You got some feedback issues?
Yeah.
We're hearing a lot of echo, like you got 2 tabs open.
Let me bounce out and I'll try to get back in.
Okay. Let's go here. Let's go college. Kyrie Thompson. Caleb Williams addresses crime video after loss. I give my all on every single play. What are your thoughts on Caleb Williams? Just not only his performance, but obviously the way he handled that loss.
You know how I feel about Caleb Williams, right? Have we addressed it? I mean, I don't really think it's that good of a. I don't think it'll be that good of an NFL quarterback. And you know why? We've talked about it, at least anytime Caleb Williams plays competition or someone that he doesn't have all day to throw, he struggles. And against the the lesser teams, he can scramble, juke someone, Z. But when you talk about transit to the NFL, imagine Michael Parsons chasing down Caleb Williams. You think he doing all that? He just isn't. Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. So to me, I don't think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. He doesn't throw on time. His deep field accuracy is shaky. And the crying, I mean, if that's how he expresses his feelings, that's perfectly fine. I mean, everyone does it differently. Just because someone is trying, I guess, what they call "quote unquote" man up, doesn't make them any better of a player or less of a player. But Caleb Williams, as a player, as an NFL caliber quarterback, to me, I wouldn't touch him.
I think it's too tough to pass on him if you're a top 5 team. I am concerned, though, that his production has really faded as the competition has gotten better. Early in the season, when he was lighting things up and throwing for 5 touchdowns a game against lesser competition, it was foregone conclusion he was going to be the number 1 pick. Now that they got into some conference play against ranked opponents and he's really struggled, that scares me a little bit. Because as you mentioned, at the next level, you're not getting cupcake matchups. Every week is a tough matchup for a young quarterback, especially when you consider if you're the number one pick, you're going to a bad team. So you're not going to a stacked team. You're going to a team that you're going to have to elevate. So that's what concerns me the most. I'm not mad about him crying, though. I'm not worried about that. We see athletes get emotional all the time, and I get it. These guys put a lot into the sport, so I'm okay with that.
Hey, but Eric, just real quick, next time you watch Caleb Williams play, I want you to set just in your head, just have a mental clock of every time he throws the ball under 3 seconds. You will not be able to count. You won't. It's not going to happen. And in the NFL, we know the clock is around but 2.5 to 3 seconds.
Right.
It doesn't happen. It's like he's always waiting for the Hail Mary throw, or he's not reading the defense. I'm unsure, but I'm not sure if he could be outcoached from that bad habit that he has.
Well, I mean, it's a fair point to make. Most quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts the exception, and Jalen Hurts took a little time to develop in NFL, but other guys under Lincoln Riley have not performed well. Kyler Murray has not really performed well. Baker Mayfield has not performed well. And these are guys who had a lot of time in college to throw the ball, and now that they're at the next level, when they don't have that time, they struggle. So it's a fair point that you make. Let's bring Will in here. Let's see how it sounds. Will, we still getting a lot of feedback, bro.
I don't know why. It's just me. Like you
Let me
get
see something. Hold on. Talk again.
You get noise from me?
Yeah, I can hear myself. If you can, put your headphones in. Let's see if put your headphones in.
I got it.
Hold on. I'm gonna put you on mute because, like I said, we're hearing everything as if you're just listening to the show. So I'm gonna put you on mute until you put the headphones in. All right, let's see what else we got in the comment section.
Many.
It's crazy. It's going. I told you, the comment section is live tonight. Hey, Pooh. Shout out to Pooh. Pooh be recognizing what's going on. She said, "Well, I'm the only one that's on time." Hey, you know, I try to keep everything running smooth, Pooh. Let's get back up here. Let's see. After the Caleb Williams, Ron had a good question regarding the Lakers. We're gonna get to LeBron in a second tonight too. Lakers have lost 3 straight to the Magic, Heat, and Rockets by damn near 30. What's wrong, Vern?
Man, first of all, Austin Reeves cost me a parlay, so he's already on the list. All right, let's just start there. All right. What's wrong is what we told you from the beginning. I said they built the team as if LeBron James is still what? 2015 LeBron James. I'm beating coming back from 3-1 the Warriors, LeBron James. He is not that player. If you built the team, expect him to be that player, you should expect the team to fail. That's another reason why I took them with the under for total wins this season. I knew AD was going to be injured and had some issues. LeBron James is probably going to be injured and have some kind of issues or rest, X, Y, and Z. And they have nobody else that could generate their own shot of offense. It's downhill from here. I don't know if they trade LeBron James mid-season or if they trade Anthony Davis mid-season. But it's one of those situations where they need to really think about trying to either unload one of them or trying to bring someone in that's a legitimate bucket getter. Because LeBron James is not the same player. He's just not. He's in year 21. I mean, so of course they're going to struggle.
It's that.
And Darvin Ham is boo-boo, but we can get to that.
I was gonna say I don't know. I'm not too sure about Darvin Ham as a head coach.
That's what I'm saying. We can get. I didn't know how long-winded you wanted me to be. I mean, we can get into all the issues.
Yeah, I think it's more about Darvin Ham. Granted, the supporting cast has not looked great, so there is a little bit of kind of excuse built in there. Gabe Vincent has not looked good. Austin Reeves got his money. He has not looked good. But you got to remember too, last year some of these guys caught people by surprise. When they first got Rui from the Wizards, and nobody really knew how they were going to use Rui, he was able to exploit defenses.
He was going nuts.
Right. Now that team's got a little better scouting report on them, you're seeing them struggle. So they're going to still have to make another move to figure this thing out. But more importantly, it's the LeBron aspect. They still want Bron to do too much of the heavy lifting here. Let's try to see. We're going to check if Will Gordon's mic is sounding better. Will, speak to me. Yo, I don't know why we're getting so much feedback off your audio.
Yo, it ain't no audio around me. I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, this thing sounds crazy.
Yeah. Let's try one more time. Exit out, Will. Try to come back in because as I'm talking to you, I can hear myself talking the whole time. All right, we got to get that right. D'Angelo, I see. We appreciate you. I know you've been paying attention to the show because he calls out Will on this one right here. We all love the Lillard to Bucks, and it's early, but man, they can't guard a 45-year-old Will. He got work to do. We try to warn y'all. We said this was going to be the issue. Vern and I had to literally argue with Will about this. We said this was going to be the issue. They're not going to be able to defend anyone. Every night is going to have to be a shootout. But Vern, go ahead, man.
Hey, yeah. I mean, we've already addressed it. Look, I was watching the game the other night when Giannis had what was it, 54 or something, right? And I was like, oh, there's no way they're gonna lose the game, right? So look, I turned off. I don't know. I think probably something with my son. So look, I stay away from the game, and then I come back and I said, how did they lose that game? Like, how could they possibly lose that game? And I know exactly how they lost it. They could not get any stops when they needed to get stops. And Damian Lillard is not getting better on defense. The Bucks as a whole, I mean, Drew Holiday, the loss of Drew Holiday is huge right now. But they have time to figure it out. But unless Giannis in the playoffs will go for 45 points and shooting better than 65% from the field every night, they're gonna have a hard time beating a team in a 7-game series.
They're gonna have struggles all year. Will, let me hear something.
Y'all got me?
We better now.
Hey.
Come on, let me hear you greet.
Hey, what it do, baby? Hey. Hold up. Let's address the first comment that I'm seeing on the screen right now. When they talk about I'm getting some shade right now. I'm saying
that's how I know D'Angelo been tuning into the show because he addressed that to you personally because he knew how you felt about it.
I see that. Nigga, I'm 44. Don't be racing my shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't 45 till April, bro. I'm 44 right now, man. Let's get that addressed first. Shout out to D'Angelo, man.
And his mic.
You know what we do. You know what we do, man. You know how we do the clink, man.
Let's get to it.
No, it might be some. The difficulties might be because I'm on the road this week. I'm up in Cleveland this week on the road. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Up here, hating on LeBron and and the Browns, hating on LeBron and the Browns and everything else Cleveland related. You know what I'm saying? What's up with y'all though? Y'all good?
You already know, baby. Everybody's well. We got to get to it. It's going to be another great night. I want to get to 2 more NBA related questions. The comment section is going crazy. We appreciate all you guys for rocking with us tonight on a Friday night. 2 more basketball related questions, and then we're going to get to our official rundown. D'Angelo wanted to know, why do y'all think the Philadelphia 76ers are clicking? They're up right now. Looks like they're about to finish off Detroit tonight. Will, kick that one off.
I think it's because they're giving Maxey the green light. You know what I'm saying? You got a bright young talent that you can pair with a dude with an MVP like Embiid, and it's no more egos involved. You know what I mean? Maxey's a dude that can fill up the box score, but he can also dish out stuff. You know what I'm saying? To where Embiid can shine, and when you don't have a egocentric guard in your backcourt anymore, it kind of helps. It kind of helps things out. You know what I'm saying? And that's shade to James Harden. Like no team has been a good team as long as James Harden was on it. And when you got a young talent like Tyrese Maxey, when you got a MVP talent like Embiid, that kind like he was kind of shitting. He was kind of shitting the bed, kind of making things messy. So I think when you address those issues, and you also get rid of a shit ass coach that Doc Rivers is. Sorry, Doc, you're a shitty coach. You always have been. Um, you're gonna look better. You're gonna look better as a team, and I think that's basically what it comes down to.
Vern?
I mean, you can't call Doc Rivers a shitty coach, but you can
I
call.
think you can. I think you can.
I mean,
why can't I?
he's an underwhelming coach, very underwhelming. But no James Harden.
Well, we just use different language. I cuss.
Let him cook. Though. Let him cook.
I'm just saying, no James Harden. When James Harden got traded, we said the Clippers are going to struggle. James Harden as a player right now is not even when you take MVP Harden, him on the 76ers, the ball stopped way too much. And when the ball stops with James Harden, especially the way that he is now, it's inefficient offense. The defense gets rest, gets to relax because they know James Harden is not doing much. Also on defense, he's an absolute motherfucking liability. Now I get when you got Maxey, you got Embiid, that chemistry and them not having to worry about someone is going to be crying and complaining if they can't dribble the ball 50 million times in ISO. So I just think there's no James Harden. No James Harden gives everyone an opportunity to play at the best of their abilities.
I think that's what it is. Now you're seeing guys being able to get in the flow of an offense. Now Tobias Harris looks better without James Harden. Now,
absolutely. I was just about to bring that up. Tobias Harris looks like the player that they bought. You know what I mean?
Now,
and why didn't he before? Because of James, because he's too ball dominant. Because when you're dribbling the ball for 16 seconds of the shot clock, nobody else can do nobody else can do what they do.
Right, and this is what we talked about was going to be an issue with the Clippers. When Harden is in the game, there's too much standing around. Everyone else is just watching Harden. Now you look at Philly, there is much more ball movement. Now you see other guys get involved. Now you're seeing multiple guys being able to score 20 points a game on this team. And that's also back to the point about Doc Rivers. That's kudos to Nick Nurse because Nick Nurse is making his work now with this guys where he's like, all right, we're going to implement an offense. Yeah, and Embiid is still the focal point, but we're going to let Maxey get his shots. We're going to get Tobias Harris involved early so that we build his confidence up early. They got Kelly Oubre looking the best he's looked in probably like 4 years. So Nick Nurse has done a great job. I think the team overall has done better. A couple more basketball-related questions. Which one we want to get to? We got a couple good ones here. Hey, D-Man, he talking about y'all. He ain't talking about me. D-Man, I was here at 9 o'clock. He said, y'all boys always late. He ain't talking about me, though.
He told me.
You want to talk about me, though. Vern, this for you, Vern, because I text you this the other night when my Knicks were beating up on Wembanyama. Has your boy been checked for drugs saying Wemby is a top 10 current NBA player? Vern, you can change your mind now. I'm going to say this. I text Vern the other night. Vern didn't respond. I know he was trying to wait to see how that game was going to play out. I knew how that game was going to play out. This is what I mean about rookies in the league. They're going to have their peaks and valleys. Wembanyama got beat up on the other night. Mitchell Robinson grabbed 15 boards in that game. Julius Randle had a double-double in that game. Wembanyama was not comfortable. He was settling for jump shots. It's bound to happen. But Vern, this is why I said he's not a top 10 guy yet.
Wait.
I'm gonna give you the opportunity.
D-Man told of course I changed my mind, D-Man. He a top 5 player now.
Oh my God.
Oh, you went in the whole other direction.
He doubled down.
D-Man, what we talking about? Of course he is. I'm talking about as a player, as a season. If I'm saying season, I'm not talking about for a week. I ain't talking about for a week. I ain't talking about for a day. I'm talking about for a season. And when I'm talking about for a season, I stand on it. He's top 10. When we get to April, Eric is going to be like, man, I wish he was on my team. We're going to say, damn, I wish he was on my team.
But that ain't saying much for the Wizards. That ain't saying much for the Wizards.
I mean, we said.
That ain't saying much for the Wizards.
About that.
Hey, y'all need to stop the disrespect right now.
Okay,
stop the disrespect.
Is it disrespect, Will?
30 Jordan Poole is not serious. The team is not serious. But yeah, no, Wembanyama is still a top 10 player. I mean, I would take him over pretty much everyone in the league except the 9 players above him.
Listen, I think
except who?
He said except
the 9 players above him.
Well, Vern has a list that nobody knows about. He's concocted a list. I'm gonna
What is
say
this, like the secret McDonald's menu? Like what you got going on? Like what's this list you talking about?
Hold on, Will. Hold on. I want to say this though, Will, because I don't want to spend too much time talking on Wemby. I think we all agree Wemby is a generational talent. We all said that last week. None of us said that he isn't gonna be something great in the league as long as he's healthy. We all agreed to that. But you are completely ahead of schedule, Vern, by saying he's a top 10 player right now. I think Will and I are willing to say he might be a top 10 player in a couple years. But right now,
today,
he didn't look like a top
He
10
might
player.
be a top 10 player by the end of this year, but
Right.
but today he's not.
No.
The question was, if we had to pick me before a season, I had to pick players. There were not 10 players I could name that I would take this season over Wembanyama. That was the question. There is not.
You tripping?
Yeah, you bugging. D-Man, I'm gonna try to get to all the NBA joints as well, like I said, but I also want to save time for some of the topics we have written down that we wanted to present to you guys. Let's go through some of them a little quicker though. Jamal Murray out for the rest of the month with a hamstring. I think they still roll, but maybe lose a game every now and then. Will, start this one off for me. What you think? Jamal Murray out for at least a month.
Man, when you got a hammy, that's something that lingers. That's not an injury that you can just, wipe off and call it a day. Like they say if they say it's gonna be a month, it could be 2. You know what I'm saying? It could be 2.5. A hamstring is not like those soft tissue injuries. It's not something you want to play with. So that's something you wanna keep an eye on because that might be a problem.
Vern, what you think?
It doesn't. I mean, Will's right. Soft tissue injuries. He should rest it as long as he possibly can. The NBA season, regular season doesn't matter. Just get to the playoffs, which they would, and then make sure he's healthy when you get there. I mean, like I said, hamstrings. This is not the NFL where you're, I guess, cutting and turning as much. However, the length and the amount of time and the injuries you're putting into playing on both sides of the ball could make this a season-long kind of recurring injury. So I would say just rest him until it's 100%.
Yeah, I would say get him as much rest as possible. What you really want is for him to be healthy come April.
Yep.
So if you got to sit him out a couple nights now, maybe you only play twice a week, you do it. Because come April, you need him to be as healthy as possible so you can defend that crown. Exactly. That's really what it comes down to for them. Poole got
as much jumping and lateral movement that you use playing the game of basketball. When your hamstring is banged up, that makes it very, very tough.
Please let me get to this.
So Poole brought up a women's college question. Caitlin Clark scored 44 points the other day. I wonder what kind of WNBA player she can become. Vern, go ahead, Vern.
Man, Caitlin Clark. Let me tell you something. Clayton Clark is like, she's so good. Virginia Tech, it was just like everyone knew she was going to have the ball, right? Everyone knew that she was going to either shoot or distribute, and they could not stop her. It was like, try. And it was like, I guess they were trying, but it looked like they really weren't trying. Like she was jacking threes.
My daughter and my son upstairs.
She was scoring 8 to 10 points in a row at a clip. It was like insane. And that game came on. That game was on the same time as the was the Thursday night game. And I was like, look, I gotta watch this on 2 screens because I gotta be able to watch my girl Clayton Clark. She can be one of the best we've ever seen. We've never seen a lady, in my opinion, be able to shoot off the ball like this, and then also distribute the ball and have a handle in the dribble. I mean, it's almost, I don't want to call her the Steph Curry because she's her own player, but when she pulling up, I'm thinking every time it's good. And the way that she controls the game is really just like, it's something you people should truly watch, especially if you're a student of the game or if you're trying to teach someone how to play basketball from the point guard position. It is truly a work of art. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, when she goes to NBA, I'm definitely following. I watch as many as if she's ever on TV. I'm watching it every single time.
I agree. I think she has the potential to elevate the WNBA game to heights that it's never seen.
Yes,
because the biggest difference between the WNBA game and the NBA game, obviously, is the level of athleticism, right?
Mhm.
It's not basketball IQ, it's not skill set, because a lot of the women at the WNBA level are very good players. It's just the athleticism is not the same. But like you said, her ability to handle and shoot from distance and range is second to none. And so she can elevate the game. And that's why I was upset by how everything played out between her and Angel Reese, because it turned into something that it didn't need to turn into. It was, you have two great young women who have games that are gonna transcend it to the next level.
Yeah.
And we worrying about, you know what I'm saying, gamesmanship and one-upmanship and all that. But ultimately, I think Caitlin Clark is phenomenal. I'm also super excited to see Paige Buckers from UConn, who's back this year after being out last year. She's been phenomenal as well. So,
but they should have had a way that Iowa play LSU this year. I'm telling that was, I know they can't really, scheduling, but they should have found a way, because man, that would have went.
The ratings would have been crazy. Will, we know how you feel about the women's game, but go ahead, bro.
No, I have no content for that.
Okay.
I don't know either one of these chicks, and I don't care about WNBA or none of that. So, and I'm not going to try to fake like I do. So let's keep it moving.
The comment section about to go crazy. Actually, hold on before we get to this question.
Hey! Look, I know this is what I'll say. Dawn Staley's the best hooper, the best female hooper I've ever seen. The end. I don't know about nothing else that's going on now. Yeah, I don't care. Sorry.
Listen, hold on. I'm gonna get Kyrie. I had your question up there. I'm gonna bring your question back, but I wanted to get to this one because this game's about to start. Suns Lakers tonight. Who y'all got? Bill is playing. Booker is out. Will, go ahead.
Bradley Beal's playing tonight? Wow. What a surprise. But Devin Booker's out?
Yep.
Is KD playing?
Yep. KD's playing.
And who are they playing against?
The Lakers.
Yeah, that's a wrap. Lakers gonna take that. Bradley Beal is going to continue to show that fan base what he has always been, and that is nothing. If you're a fan of this show, if you're a fan of the Sanchez show, you know that I have always said Bradley Beal is garbage. Now I'm glad that he's out of Washington. He's not. We're not paying that contract no more. But he is garbage. And welcome Phoenix. I hope you enjoy him, because he is garbage. He can't get his own shot. He can't get open by himself. And he stays hurt. Like what is this the first
game he's playing or
second game? Second game he's playing. The second game he's playing, Will.
like yo.
Your audio went low, Will.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now, yep.
He's trash. Bradley Beal is trash. He can't get his own shot. He can't.
Who do you have tonight?
He can't stay healthy. Who do I have tonight?
Yeah.
Who are they playing against?
They got the Lakers tonight.
I got the Lakers there. I'm gonna give it to LeBron in there. I'm gonna give it to LeBron and I'm gonna give. Is AD playing?
From what I show, I don't show AD's out tonight. I show AD's expected to play.
Man, I give it to the Lakers, man. Fucking
Vern.
Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal ain't shit.
Yeah, Vern.
I'm gonna take the Suns here. If this is later on.
Why?
If this was later on in the season, I might, but I don't think neither one of these teams really care at this point in time, to be honest with you. I'm just going to take the Suns.
I think both teams are trying to work themselves into shape. I think both teams are trying to figure some things out. I'm going to go with the Suns just because this is the Lakers' 4th game on this road trip. And as you've seen in the other games
Also on the road.
this is in Phoenix. This is their 4th game on the road. As you've seen in their other stops, they've struggled. They've been blown out a couple times already on the road. So I think they'll continue to struggle in this one as well. So I got Phoenix. But I do agree with Vern. I think this game doesn't mean as much to these teams as we think. They're both just trying to get themselves in shape. Phoenix has not had their big three together. And the Lakers went without AD for a couple games, and now they're getting them back. So I think both teams are just trying to get their together.
You know what? Both teams don't give a fuck because it's November.
It's early season.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody, they don't care.
Listen, let's get to this. Was a good question by Kyrie. I want to get to this one. Like I said, we want to start breezing through some of these NBA questions because we got to get to the picks tonight as well. But Kyrie wants to know, is Trae Young a superstar or a great player with superstar potential? Vern, go ahead.
He's neither. Trae Young is neither. Trae Young is a streaky, show-up shooter. That's it. Trae Young is, a player in the NBA. That's all he's going to be, is a player in the NBA. The only reason that people
say just a player.
The only reason people talk about Trae Young is because at Oklahoma he was shooting the ball and people thought he would be Steph Curry or something like that. He's never lived up to it.
No, he didn't play in Oklahoma.
He did play for Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Trae was Oklahoma, wasn't he?
No.
What school did he go to?
No, I'm talking about NBA level. He's been in Atlanta the whole time.
Yeah, but he was an Oklahoma Sooner. He went to Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, I got you. I thought you was talking about like OKC, like the Thunder.
Because he had that comparison, that's why people know him. But to me, Trae Young is another NBA player, and whenever do anything, he offers you nothing else but inefficient scoring.
Will, what you think?
I think he's got all the ability, but he doesn't have the winning attributes. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have that next level about him that's gonna win. That's my biggest thing with him.
I think he's a good player. Is he a superstar? No, because to me, a superstar is a guy that you can win championships with, and I don't think you can win a championship with Trae Young. So I would say no. But a good player, yes. Let's move on, though. We don't want to waste too much time on that. What else we got? Let's see. I mean, this might be for you. We definitely not gonna spend too much time on this one, though. But shout out to Kyrie for the question on this one as well. Are the Wizards Poole and Kuzma's team or Kuzma's team? Who I admit though.
Oh my God!
What? Listen, they want to know. This is what the questions are. Will they want to know?
No, see, this is one of my questions. This is my question right here. Seriously,
Vern, I'm putting the question right there. We are the. I think we right at about a 7.5.
Is this what we doing right now? Well, hey, let me hear that question run back again.
Are the Wizards Poole or Kuzma's team? Poole, I admit, thought would average 30 a game, being out.
It's Kuzma's team, and you know what? They both are shit. But right now, the way it sits right now, it's Kuzma's team, man. Like, Kuzma's a better player than Jordan Poole. Period. Like, I don't know if you watch basketball or not, but Kuzma's been a better player than Jordan Poole, like, their entire career. Now is Jordan Poole a guy that can, light it up? Yeah, but it's only like 1 out of 5 nights. Kuzma's more consistent. He gives you more. He just gives you more consistency. Like, you don't want to put your money on Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is garbage for real. Like he'll give you one night with 25 or something, but then he'll give you 4 nights with 14, 13, 17, 19. Like he ain't shit for real. So Kyle Kuzma, especially as a basketball player, he's definitely a better basketball player than Jordan Poole. Like let's not do that. Let's not play that game. Like, come on, we ain't gonna do that.
All right, so you saying it's Kuzma's team. Vern, what you think?
But when I say it's Kuzma's team, it's because it's a trash team. Like, this is not a team that we're trying to,
Right.
you know what I'm saying. This ain't a team that we're trying to, like, take to the finals or something like that, or even to the playoffs.
We're gonna get to this one next.
Like,
too.
this is just a bad team.
All right, Vern, go ahead, Vern.
Yeah, just who wants to be the king of the shittiest pile of shit. I mean, Kuzma can wait. I'm the captain of the shittiest pile of shit in the NBA. Cool, all right, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, if we got to choose between these are the two options, I would say it's Kuzma, but that ain't saying much. I mean, all right, this is the last one. Then we're gonna get to some of the topics we got. Ron wants to know what's your thoughts on Cam Thomas from the Nets. Vern, go ahead, Vern.
I haven't seen enough. I haven't seen enough yet. I mean, he came on so strong and then he faded away. And now where are we? I mean, Ron asked me this question around Christmas time, and I'll have a much better assessment. When I do give an assessment on certain players, I like to be steadfast and like when me being a top 10 player, I'm convicted of that. I don't have no conviction of Cam Thomas yet. I don't have no opinion right now. So actually around Christmas time, and I'll be able to give you the skinny.
Will, what you think?
I'm kind of like in lockstep with the counselor, man. Like, I don't know enough about him right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't lean one way or another right now. Like, I gotta see more.
I'll say this. I've seen a little bit of Cam. To me, I think this is more about an early season surge. Yeah, he's averaging 26 points a game, but look at his shooting efficiency. He is getting a usage rate that is similar to that is what's normally reserved for the best players in the league. He's getting free reign to do what he wants offensively. And so I think the 26 a game is a little deceiving because as they try to implement a little bit more offense moving forward, and he's going to have to be more efficient, he will struggle. He's shooting less than 35% from three. I think he's shooting less than 50% from the field right now. So it's not like he's doing this with like super efficient numbers. He's doing this as a volume shooter, and I don't think he's going to continue to get that many shot attempts. Already through this part of the season, I think he's on pace to pass more shot attempts than he had all of last season, I think, by Christmas. Like some of the numbers I looked at are like, no, it's real talk. Some of the numbers I looked at is kind of crazy because like he's getting such a high usage rate early on in the season. And some of that had to do with injuries they've had early on that I don't think is sustainable. So to Vern and Will's point, this is probably a better question once we're about 25 games into the season. When we're 25 games into the season and we get a really good layout of like how they're using him offensively, we'll have a better idea of who he is as a player. Right now, it's still too early though. Let's get to a couple things though, guys. And again, I want to remind everybody you can subscribe to the Sanchez Show on Spotify and on YouTube. Ron, shout out to Ron. He gave us the score update. Clippers down 77-51 to Dallas right now. The Clippers will continue to struggle. We predicted that last week before James Harden even played his first game. But again, we're live every Friday night, 9 p.m. We're giving you picks tonight. We got some NBA talk to get into. And we're answering any questions that come through. Vern, you have missed out on this before, but this is something that Will and I did in the past called Fuck Me the Fuck Out of Here. And before we get to that, I want to get into this Braun statement. I know Will got a lot to get in say on this.
Oh my God. Hey, before can you set Will on a 30-second timer? We talk about
all right, we go. Let's Will, we need you to get to the point. We need you to get to it. LeBron James said his time with the Miami Heat had no real significant impact on his legacy because he was going to be the dominant player he has become no matter what. What are your thoughts on what Braun said about his time with the Miami Heat?
I ain't hating on that dude, man. LeBron, like he's got his own, like everything he's trying to do is he's trying to set up on his own, man. And ain't nothing I can say that can change anything. But we all know we watched the LeBron legacy, and what he's trying to do is, what he's basically trying to do is change the legacy of what he actually did, which was nothing. Like nigga, you didn't do really much. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you had the Miami legacy, you had the other you know what I'm saying? But what did you do, bro? What did you win? You ain't win shit. And now we supposed to just respect you as some dude that won shit? No, you didn't know. You didn't know. You a fucking bum. No, 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 no. Let me take that back. Let me take that back a step. You ain't a bum, but you didn't fucking win. Okay, you didn't win. When all the time you was trying to talk about that you was this winner, you did not win. So get the fuck on, man. Be gone. Be the fuck gone. Sorry for all the F bombs and shit, but
Go ahead, Ver.
but I'm tired of that shit, man.
Go ahead, Ver.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, if he didn't go to Miami, he'd still be one of the greatest players that we ever talked about of all time. So, I mean, he's right.
No, he's not right though.
He's right.
No, he's not right.
Yes, he would have.
What's he right about? What is he right about?
He might have one less ring, but that's about it.
First of all,
One less?
No. He won 2 in Miami.
I know. As I say, he would have had one less ring. He would have won another one in Cleveland.
Hold on. This is why I love having these conversations, because I think sometimes we get so caught up in where we're at right now, we forget where we were at in the moment.
LeBron James was the best player in the NBA back when he went to Miami Heat.
He was. Nobody's debating that. That's why there was so much outrage that he went to the Miami Heat.
Exactly.
He was already if you didn't feel he was number 1, he was 1B. He was right behind Kobe at that time. Vern, why are you scringing up your face? In 2010.
Vern, what's the face, Vern?
Hold on. Vern, correct me if I'm wrong. Hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. When Braun signed the summer of 2010 in Miami, Kobe had just come off back-to-back finals, championships.
Okay.
Kobe, at that time, if you want to say Braun, like I said, is number 1, then Kobe definitely was number 2. They were competing for the best spot in the league.
And when they played, Braun was whooping Kobe's ass.
When did they play in the finals?
They didn't play in the finals.
All right, so then that settles what I need to say, because Kobe was playing in the finals. Braun wasn't.
And I don't even need that. I don't even need that because
hold on, Will. Let me just say this. So no. Let's go back and remember where we were at that point, right? Braun goes to Miami. The reason it was outraged is because a lot of people already saw the potential and felt Braun was on the cusp of, if he wasn't the best player, he was on the verge of becoming the best player.
He was the best player, but keep going.
Fine. He goes to Miami.
Yep.
They lose to Dallas.
Correct, yes.
Right?
Same team that swept Kobe, by the way.
But doesn't matter if they swept Kobe.
Okay, keep
because
going.
Kobe had already went to 3 straight finals at that point.
I'm listening. Keep going.
So you trying to throw little subtle jabs in there when the two don't correlate.
Who had the most heart?
Keep going.
Now,
who had the most heart?
Hold on, Will. Now, Braun goes there. They're heavy favorites to win a championship. They lose to Dallas, right?
Yep.
Up until that point, Braun still not had proven that he could be a winner.
Yes, correct.
So you can't tell me your legacy is not impacted by your time in Miami.
I don't think that's what he was saying.
He said it would not have changed my legacy.
know what I'm okay. So let's break it down a little bit more. I think what he is saying is, and this is how I'm interpreting it, and you can tell if I'm wrong, or what you think I'm wrong. I think what he's saying is, if he didn't go to Miami, when he retired, he still would have been a top 5 player in NBA history.
And this is where I disagree with him. His legacy
he was in Cleveland, though.
His legacy really starts the following year. I always say this. I've always said this. To me, LeBron James' greatest performance is the following year when they're down 3-2 to the Boston Celtics, and he has to go to Boston, and he scores the 42 points to save their season. Yeah. I will always say that was his greatest performance because not only did that change his legacy, and that proved to Will Gordon's point that you have enough heart to go in and win a game that you need to win.
You know, it was crazy.
If they lose,
his greatest performance at that point.
It's his greatest performance.
Greatest at that point.
It's his greatest. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because the performance against Detroit was house money. No one expected him to do that. So nobody would have been mad if they lost to Detroit.
Okay, I can see that. If that's your argument, that's fair. Keep going.
Nobody. If they would have lost to Detroit, who would have been mad?
What I'm saying, if that's your value system, I understand that. That's fair. I'm acknowledging that. Keep
right.
going.
But when you're down 3-2, after you yourself has said, we're not going to win not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Right. Yeah. So they go to Boston. They win Game 6 on what I feel is his greatest playoff performance. If they had lost that series to Boston, you know what would have happened? Eric Spoelstra gets fired. Chris Bosh gets traded the next year. And the Heatles experiment is a complete bust.
I agree.
The legacy of LeBron James really starts year 2 in Miami when he becomes a champion.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Eric. What I'm trying to tell you is I think LeBron's the way we look at LeBron James' career now through that lens is what I'm saying is if he would have stayed in Cleveland or went somewhere else, I'm trying to say
Will is gone.
I'm trying to say that there would have been another lens we would have looked through LeBron James' career. LeBron James at that point in time was too great of a player to say we think he's gonna win like no rings as he got to the LA. Like that wasn't gonna happen either.
Yeah, but we damn sure ain't having a GOAT conversation for him either.
Possibly. I mean,
no way.
The reason why, Eric, honestly, the reason why is because we don't know what would have happened if he stayed in Cleveland. We don't know what would have happened. He might have attracted another player. They could have. Who really knows? We don't really know. Let's say, for example, the Heat don't ever come together. He gets traded somewhere else, and he wins 3 in a row. I mean, I don't know. It's possible.
Anything is possible in the words of Kevin Garnett. But
he would have been right around the same amount of rings,
But we're not talking in hypotheticals, though, Vern. We're talking in what we know, and what we know is he was not a winner until he went to Miami.
This motherfucker just said what would have happened if he stayed in Cleveland. Is that what you really just said?
I think would have won.
Was that the words that came out your mouth?
I think would have won too.
Was that the words that came out your mouth? Oh, what would have happened if he stayed in Cleveland? The fuck, bro? Like, where's that ever argument? What would have happened if he stayed in Cleveland? Well, he did. Like, why is that even something that's coming out your mouth?
When someone with LeBron James' stature and his impact,
no,
he still would have had just as an impactful of a career in the NBA. Now, the Miami Heat, like we saw how that. We saw what he did.
But you asking some bullshit. You asking some bullshit though.
Done the same thing. He left the Heat. Don't be wrong. He left the Heat, right? When he left the Heat, what happened? He won the championship.
Yeah, but hold on. No. You trying to minimize what he did as well, though.
Minimizing.
Yes, you are, because hold on. This is why like I get into it with people who have this blind loyalty. I'm not talking about you, Vern, specifically, but this is why I get into it with people who have this blind loyalty to LeBron. They love to gloss over all the things he did to stack the odds in his favor. When he went to Miami, who was their biggest threat to come out of the East?
I mean, really,
nobody.
Celtics, maybe.
Nobody. Yeah. Nobody. The Celtics were already old. The Celtics got broken up like 2 years later.
It was the Celtics.
When LeBron James beat the Detroit Pistons, right? When he beat the Detroit Pistons, the only team that was really there was the Celtics. Okay. You would have the Celtics would not have the Celtics. The Celtics came together because of LeBron James.
Cool. No, they did not. No, they did not. No, they did not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, they did not.
Okay.
That year that the Cavs beat the Pistons, the Cavs came out of nowhere. Nobody thought the Cavs were going to beat that team yet. The Celtics came together mainly because the Celtics missed out on being able to draft Greg Oden or Kevin Durant. Let's call it what it is. They did not come together because of LeBron James. The Celtics had the best odds to win that draft lottery. The Celtics thought they were going to get a top 2 pick. And when they didn't get a top 2 pick, Danny Ainge immediately shifted and traded for Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. Let's not make it seem like the Celtics were on the cusp of contending and said, but LeBron's in our way. They said, no, we're not going to get one of the top 2 prospects. So now we're going to go.
Danny Ainge, he knows. All I'm saying is this.
No, hold on, Vern. Hold on. See, this is why you're a great lawyer, because you're trying to change the narrative right here. I see what you're doing already.
The counselor.
I see what you're doing. Listen, you're trying to change the narrative. Now, when Braun went to Miami, the odds were so stacked heavily in his favor. There wasn't even a team that was close enough in the East. Yes. The Heat, all 4 years that LeBron was in Miami, not only were they heavily favored to come out of the East, they were favored to win the finals. And when Braun noticed that team was getting old because they got smoked by San Antonio his last year in Miami, what did he do? He found some other young horses to attach his wagon to. Kyrie was a young up-and-comer. Kevin Love wanted out of Minnesota.
Eric, I'm not about to do this. Before LeBron James got there, how many – hold on. Let me think. Wasn't Anthony Bennett drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers?
A lot of young guys was drafted there. Kyrie, Dion Waiters, a lot of dudes.
But for them to get Anthony Bennett, they had to draft who's number 1 overall pick right
So now. Was Kyrie. So was Kyrie. So was Andrew Wiggins.
So Kyrie Irving was so up and coming. If they had 2 number 1 picks,
so
be real. Kyrie Irving didn't win a goddamn win.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. So because your team drafts number 1, a guy can't be up and coming?
He was not up and coming. He was a guy who had a good handle from Duke that played.
So hold on. So you've never seen that clip of Kobe and Kyrie at Team USA before Braun went to Cleveland?
He wasn't a winner. He didn't win shit.
We're not talking winner. You said he wasn't an up and comer.
He was a guy who had a lot of handle who was fantasized to watch.
He was an up and coming talent.
He was not up and coming.
Oh my God!
He didn't trade.
Now we're gonna do this.
He would have been without LeBron James coming there. Kyrie Irving would have probably never even went to the playoffs. He would have been someone he would have been a Jamal Crawford. Someone's a good handle, can score some points, and been it. Period. Without LeBron James, who has he been? Where has he been? What has he done? Tell me.
Again, when Braun, hold on. Again, great job by the counselor trying to shift the narrative. But the question still remains: when Braun left Miami, he seeked the opportunity to attach his wagon to young guys that he knew could extend the window. Yes, he did. Because if it wasn't about extending the window, then why did they rush so quickly to not only trade for Kevin Love, but then go get other veterans that can help them win now? LeBron wasn't about trying to build anything back in Cleveland. It was about winning now.
LeBron James can do what needs to be done. Eric, you can say what you want. You can say what you want to say. At this point in time, LeBron James was so dominant, it didn't matter who the hell was on his team. LeBron James, in my opinion, he won a championship in 3 different places. Okay, so apparently 3 different head coaches.
Cool.
I mean, apparently, he is the person that makes the shit move. Okay,
for the most part. But he is also let's keep it a buck. He's also seeked out situations that have allowed him to manipulate the roster that fit what he wants.
Every single superstar or
that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
What Tam superstar who's not had a great roster? Tell me.
No. Great roster and manipulating the roster are 2 different things.
How was he
different things, Vern? You know that. Know those are 2 different things.
How was he? What did he do to manipulate the roster?
He went to Cleveland on 1-year deals, forced them to trade for veterans that helped them win immediately. Did he not? Again, when we talk about LeBron's legacy, and this is not a knock on LeBron, because I've said it over and over again where I place LeBron historically, but we got to call a spade a spade. He basically shifted the odds in his favor. It's almost like me and you doing a 15-leg parlay that's only a plus 110. We taking all the easiest shit on the board and saying we know we're going to win because ain't nothing to stop us from winning.
He still had to win. At that point in time in the NBA, they were
and again to play devil's advocate, he's lost more than he won. Has he not?
Yeah, okay, lost. You talking about finals and talking about what we're talking about?
Is that not losing? He didn't win the championship, so you lost more than you won, right?
Right. Just like every other greatest player in NBA history.
Not Michael Jordan, but everybody else, yes.
He won 6 championships, right? How many times?
Yes.
How many years did he play in the league?
13.
Okay,
How many years was he in the finals, though?
6.
How many times did he win the finals?
6.
So
But
he won way more.
Okay, how many times did he go to the How many times did he win a playoff game without Scottie Pippen? How many rings did he win without Scottie Pippen? Tell me.
Okay.
Educate
He won none. He won none.
Educate.
He won none. He won none without Scottie. Big deal. Big we give Scottie all his credit. We give Scottie way more credit. We give Scottie way more credit than he deserves. We give Scottie way more credit. We give Scottie way more credit than he deserves. What was Scottie averaging in them last 2 finals? When Scottie was out there averaging 12 points a game.
He took the load over him defensively.
Oh my God. Now he took the load off him defensive. Scottie had a bad back the last 3 championships. Mike was doing everything. Everything. The last 3 championships. Get out of here, Vert. Everything. Mike is doing everything.
If Scottie does not come to the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan doesn't win 6 championships, period. I mean,
so did Scottie come to the Bulls or he's drafted there?
Drafted, claim, whatever you want to
call it. So if LeBron doesn't go to the Miami Heat, he don't have them 2 championships, right?
I told you he
probably, but we'll never know because Bron knew his legacy was attached to winning championships. So therefore, he went to the Miami Heat. He said so himself. Bron has said so himself that he knew the clock was ticking, that his legacy was attached to championships. That's why he went to the Miami Heat.
He would have won them regardless.
Oh, he would have won them regardless. He didn't feel that way.
He would have.
He didn't, but he didn't feel that way. Anyway, I think Will tapped out. He
probably cooked.
He was 8.5 in surgeon. And I've been working on the fadeometer, but it's tough to integrate into this system. Fuck with it the fuck out of here. That's why I asked you a question, Vern, before we get to the picks.
Yeah.
You got to start off by saying you fuck with it or get the fuck out of here. And I'm gonna use this question to start it off. Better bet to win the AFC, Chiefs or the Ravens? And my fuck with it the fuck out of here question to you is the Ravens are the best team in the AFC. Let me know what you think.
Are you asking me this right now? Are you saying they're going to be the best at the end of the season?
As of today, November 10th, going into week 10 of the NFL season.
I gotta fuck with it. I mean, they're like number one. They're like a number one, like everything. You know, I have to. I don't think that's where they're going to be. Most teams don't play this well now and then have this momentum all the way through to Super Bowl. But right now, they got to be. They've been dominating teams. But we're about to see. They're about to have 2 divisional games back to back with the Browns and the Bengals, and we're going to see what they're in. But I mean, they've been smoking people, like crushing them. So right now, I got to fuck with it. I do.
I agree. I fuck with it. Now, I think the next 2 weeks are going to be a great test for them because they get the Browns this week, and then they get the Bengals next week on a short week.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we'll have a better indicator, but I do agree. I think right now we have to say that. Aside from 2 subpar performances, the one against Pittsburgh and the one against the Colts, the Ravens have looked sharp every week. Lamar is a legitimate MVP candidate. And that defense, I think, is starting to peak at the right time.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think the Ravens, if they played right now, I think I would lean towards the Ravens just because of how well they play defensively and that Chiefs offense is really struggling.
I agree.
So one other one, fuck with it or fuck out of here, is NBA related. The Grizzlies will not make the playoffs in the West.
When does Ja come back?
There's still about 13 more games.
Fuck out of here. I mean, you got the play in now. I think they will be able to make up enough ground to get there. They are really bad right now, though. I mean, what are they, 1-8?
1-7.
1-7. So, but like I said, with the play-in game, you get all you gotta do is really be within the top 10 seeds. I think they make it.
So when I formulated the question for you guys, originally I was gonna say fuck out of here, but I'm fucking with it, and here's why. When I look at the 10 teams just currently right now, granted, it's a long way to go.
Of course, yeah.
But when I look at the teams that are ahead of them right now, there aren't too many spots that I can say, yeah, they're better than that team. Like They're not better than Denver. They're not better than Dallas, Minnesota, Golden State.
Very agreed. Kings.
They're not better than the Kings. That's 5. They're not better than the Suns. That's 6. Then you got, after that 6, you still got OKC, you got the Pelicans, and you got the Clippers. That
Well,
puts
you
you at-
don't got to worry about the Clippers and you don't got to worry about the Pelicans, and you know why.
well, I think
the Pelicans with Zion, he's not going to be healthy.
Zion, yes, I agree with the Pelicans one. The Clippers one, I think Clippers going to figure that out because as I teased last week, they're going to trade Paul George. He's going to be the trade piece. They're going to ship Paul George to try to make this work. Then you still got the Lakers, who aren't even a top 10 team right now, who we expect to be at least a play-in team.
I don't.
Not a play-in team?
I just don't. Are we really riding on 21-year LeBron and AD? AD is missing games. Probably, going to come a point in time, AD is going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. And that's going to coincide with LeBron James on. I just can't see it. I mean, from a health standpoint, I just can't see it.
Fair. But then there's this other aspect for Memphis.
Yeah.
Ja Morant has missed significant time the last 2 seasons.
That's true.
So not only the 25 games that he's suspended right now, you still got to deal with the possibility that he may come back and then still get injured or miss some time during that time he's back.
Yeah.
So I think their margin for error is very small when he gets back. Again, 1-7, they would be lucky if they find themselves at like
34.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still tough. I mean, I think it's a very close call. I think that's probably one of those questions where you just got to be like, I can see both sides. Because the Memphis Grizzlies are still a young enough team that I think they can do it if Ja's push. Remember last year when Ja was playing, how many did they win in a row with Ja? They was like on fire.
They got hot, but my issue with them is I think there's more to just the suspension. I think it's a fractured locker room, and I think it's a situation that even when he comes back, they're gonna struggle. And that's why I'm saying I'm fucking with it. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs.
I can see that. The reason why I'm saying is I just don't think a lot of teams in the West, I think you have a lot of older teams in the West that are going to. I think they can catch up with them. Like the Clippers are going to fall off. The Lakers, I have no faith in. The Suns, they'll be there, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm fucking with it. I don't think they will be, but we'll revisit this conversation. Let's get to the picks, Vern.
Yeah, let's do it.
Where you want to go first? Which game?
It don't matter. It's still a lot of mess this week. So
I'm gonna post up our records after this week because this is pretty much the halfway point. It's a 19-week season, so we're just beyond the halfway point. Okay. So I've tallied up all the records. After week 10, I'm gonna tally everything up. I had the Bears last night. I sent you the screenshot. I had them on the ticket. You had them as well.
I had them. I got them at 2.5. Then the line to 3.5. Right when I put the ticket, I was like, yes. So I had them on a parlay. So
right,
2.5.
I had them on a parlay along with I had the under, and then I had some player props in there as well that worked out.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So we both good there. Let's start with the Germany game. Colts, Patriots. Colts are favored by 2.
The Colts are favored by 2 now.
Colts favored by 2 as of an hour before we started recording.
I gotta take the Patriots spread. I just gotta take it. Minshew and the Colts should have lost that game in Carolina. The only reason they didn't lose that game was because of Bryce Young. The only reason they didn't lose that game was because of Bryce Young. Bryce Young gifted them 14 points. And when he gifted those 14 points, they were driving when they was probably going to get at least a field goal. And Indianapolis didn't show me that they can move the ball really in that game. So I think the Patriots cover. I'm not sure if they win, but I think the Patriots cover. I can see it almost being like a 24-23 type game.
I'm gonna take the Colts here. I think the Pats are right on the verge of going into tank mode. They really don't have much to play for right now. They're still banged up defensively. And I just think the Colts every week is going to be a close game for them. This is just who they are. That Saints game was close. That Browns game was close. Like you said, the Panthers game was probably a little closer than it needs to be. So every game's going to be close, but I think the Colts are just a better team right now. So I like the Colts.
But hold on. That wasn't the question. Is are you taking them with the points?
I'm going to take the 2.
Okay.
I'm going to take the 2. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a push. This might be a 26-24 victory.
Yo, they ugly. These teams. This is not a game. I'm gonna watch, but it's not a game. I'm gonna be like, dang, yo, let me make sure
let me write that score down. I'm gonna put that in as a ticket. Just 26-24. That might be the score. We could fly through some of the bad games this week because there are quite a few. Atlanta at Arizona. Atlanta's favored by 2.
Let me tell you something. I'm not touching this game.
Is Kyler playing?
That's what they say, but is he? Because if Clayton Tune is playing, you know I'm not. It's very clear. It is a stat saying that the NFC South is 1-10 against the spread versus every other team when they're playing someone outside the division. Now, so because of that, I'm going to take the Cardinals to cover. Taylor Heineke is terrible. I saw Taylor Heineke, me being a Commanders fan, up close and personal. He plays close games. Last week, I took the Vikings to cover. And the reason why I was like, Taylor Heineke should never be favored. He doesn't play well when he's favored. So I'm taking the Cardinals in an upset, and I'm taking the Cardinals. Of course, they're going to cover the spread because they're down 2. Now, if Clayton Tune comes, everything I just said throw out the window, okay? How you on mute? You on mute, Eric?
This is a game I will not be betting on.
Yeah.
Last week we were wrong because we did not know that Josh Dobbs was going to turn into Joe Montana and come off the bench the way he did for the Minnesota Vikings.
I got him with the spread. I had him on the spread.
Yeah, but
I didn't want to win.
I didn't listen. I thought we talked about it last week. I didn't think the Vikings could win that game.
No, I didn't win. No,
right. But I just figured they struggle to run the ball. No Justin Jefferson, backup quarterback. They're going to lose this game, and therefore, if they're going to lose, I might as well lean towards Atlanta with the points. And then Dobbs went crazy in that game for some reason. I'm gonna take Atlanta in this one because again, if Tune plays, I don't like what I see there. If Kyler Murray plays, I think it's a lot to ask for Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray hasn't played in almost a year.
I'm not betting Kyler Murray. I'm betting against Heineke, and I will always bet against him as long as the favorite.
Right, but then you find yourself, and I'm sure we've both been in this position where you bet on the game. Now, granted, I don't think either one of us is literally going to bet on the game, but you bet on the game, and then you start to question yourself, like, why did I believe that this team could keep it even interesting, let alone close? I'm taking Atlanta. The biggest spread of the week.
Oh,
the Giants.
17.5 yet? Did it get to 17.5 yet?
It's at 17 points. Tommy DeVito. You know what made this so crazy? I'm a fan of the movie Goodfellas, and then to find out that Joe Pesci's character in the movie, his name is actually Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
I forgot that was his name. So get your shoebox. Dallas favored by 17 points. It's crazy.
I'm taking them in the spread. Did you see DeVito? Did you see the stat last week? Threw back-to-back interceptions on consecutive passes. He looked lost like him. I'm taking the sack prop too, Eric.
You got to take the sack prop.
I think Michael Parsons gets 3. The Giants have to me, it's not about them just being a bad team. They cannot score. One thing that we've known when we played the Rams, and we talked about it, when Dallas is favored against a bad team at home, they blow people out. They beat them 40-0 with Daniel Jones. Now, of course, they're not going to try to do that.
No, they're going to try to do that.
I think they're going to try to get out this game. I think they're going to probably go up like 24-0 and just coast. Because remember, they got us on a short week, I think. No, that's the following week. That's the
Commanders got the Giants next week.
We got the Giants next week. But who do the Cowboys play next week?
They got the Panthers.
Oh, God. They're going to just laugh.
Yeah, that's why I like this line for Dallas. I'm be honest, because
me too. I'm taking it.
To your point, Dallas completely annihilates bad teams. And they only struggle against the good teams.
Yeah,
they beat up on the bad teams.
Yeah,
this isn't a trap game where they're gonna get caught looking ahead because they ain't worried about Carolina either.
Yeah, no.
Dallas wins. They win big. They'll win big the next 2 weeks, and then everybody will be on board again about Dallas potentially being.
We're gonna beat them on Thanksgiving, by the way.
Say that again.
We're gonna beat them on Thanksgiving. That's just a look ahead. I'm just telling you right now. I think we're gonna blow them out on Thanksgiving, but that's a look ahead. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I think Dallas, they're gonna beat the shit out the Giants.
Yeah, yo. And like I said, but I just think it gets honestly, I think it gets to 24-0 and it just coasts.
Yeah, I like them there too. What other bad ones we got? We got the Titans at the Bucks. Bucks favored by 1.
Oh, it's 1? I thought it was 1.5. It was 1.5. I'm taking the Titans, man. Taking the Titans.
I like the Titans as well. I don't trust the Bucks. This is one of them situations. They pretty evenly matched. If it's only a 1-point favorite at home, Vegas is letting you know everything they need to tell you.
Exactly.
They think the Titans are the better team. They're just giving the Bucks a slight advantage for being at home. So I'm taking the Titans. I'm taking Mike Vrabel.
Absolutely.
And you like them as well. Green Bay at Pittsburgh.
I'm going
Last time I saw Pittsburgh favored by 3.5.
3.5. Oh, Packers for sure. I think it's actually one of the most bet games. And I understand why people would take this. Mike Tomlin at home versus sorry Jordan Love. You know, I see it. I'm going the opposite way. I think the Packers cover. I think the line got too high. I know it started at 3, but I really think this line should have possibly started at 2. But yeah, I think the Packers cover. Remember, dog, the Steelers are winning games, but they are getting offensively outmatched.
Yeah.
Every game. At some point in time, it's going to catch up to them. And I think this game is going to get a little ugly. And I think the Packers keep it close.
I got Pittsburgh, and I like the 3.5 here. Jordan Love on the road has not looked good this year.
And a half, that half is huge.
That half is pause. That's big. But I like the Steelers here just because Jordan Love has not looked good on the road. So I like Pittsburgh here. The Jets at Vegas. This is the Sunday night game. The primetime games this week have been disgusting because we have the Bears Panthers.
You can't keep the Bears Panthers, only up from there.
Yeah. Then we get the Jets and the Raiders on Sunday night. Vegas, there's another one of those. Vegas is favored by 1. A lot of these lines are very tricky. Like Vegas is telling you. Thank you. I'm taking the Jets as well, but go ahead if you want to elaborate.
You guys hit the Jets. 1, the Jets should have beat the first of all, when the Chargers ran back the kick against the Jets, kind of deflating. I think if they never get that touchdown, it's a really close game. I mean, you know, Justin Herbert had like 140 yards passing. You know, Zach Wilson is trash. Don't get me wrong. But I just think Aiden O'Connell is going to be forced to make more bad decisions than good decisions. And that is why I'm taking the Jets here. Whatever the under is, I don't know what it is. Take it. Like, I know the primetime unders and people say, oh, eventually it's going to break. The cycle going to break. Not on this game. Not on this one. I can honestly see this being something like I might do one of those things, you know, on FanDuel, keep the game under like 17 points, just like plus like 3,000. I might do that. I can see that game being like 12-9.
Under 36.5.
Oh, yeah. I can see this game being like 12-9.
Do you think this might be one of those no touchdown scored?
Yeah, it might be like one of
plus 1,700.
That was just like the Bears and Panthers, only touchdown in the game. Touchdowns, one offensive touchdown the whole game.
Yeah. I like the Jets as well. The Jets can beat up on teams like Vegas that are going to turn the ball over, that are going to make mistakes. The Jets can't beat teams that play a clean game.
Exactly.
Teams that turn the ball over, they can beat. So I like the Jets here. Let's see what else we got. New Orleans going to Minnesota. The Saints favored by 3.
Damn, that line moved up a lot too. It was 1.5 to Saints at Minnesota. Derek Carr and Dennis Allen are just so bad. Is Taysom Hill not playing in this game?
I could double check. He played last week. He scored a touchdown last week. I think he scored 2 touchdowns last week.
Let me know if Taysom Hill is playing this game, because if he's not playing this game, I gotta take Vegas.
Let me look at the injury report. He's not listed as out.
Okay. This is a tough one. Honestly, you know what? I think it's going to be oh, God. 3 is tough because I think that's the number that this game lands on.
This might be a lot of these numbers, when you look at them, are solid spreads. There's going to be a couple pushes this week.
Yeah, I'm just going to go Vikings. Only because the Saints have shown me that they will play around, they will sit around, and they their offensive in the red zone. I mean, Taysom Hill, they're kind of figuring out a little bit. I don't really trust Josh Dobbs. I feel like they kind of caught Atlanta off guard. I don't think he's a good quarterback at all, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know what to do with this game. I truly don't know. I'm not betting it.
I wouldn't recommend anyone to bet it either. I'm taking the points with the Vikings only because when you look at the Saints, they're kind of upside down. So they're 5-4 in the season, but they're 4-5 against the spread.
Yeah.
So a lot of their games come down to these last possessions. But if the Vikings lose and don't cover, I wouldn't be surprised. Right now, obviously, Justin Jefferson is out. TJ Hawkinson is listed as questionable. KJ Osborne is listed as questionable. So they may be down several offensive weapons for Josh Dobbs. I'm just going to take the points, though. If I would have bet on it, I would take the
Yeah,
points.
take the points. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what other ones we got. And I think the rest of the games are pretty decent games. Broncos at Buffalo. Buffalo's favored by 7.
Broncos. It was at 7.5 earlier. I need the hook. I want the hook.
You like Broncos to cover or win outright?
Cover. They could win outright. They could win outright. The Bills just have not looked good. They're still relying on it. You know, if this is any other team, right? That other than the name said Bills, I think this is like a 4.5. I think people are saying, "Oh, you still got Josh Allen, you got Dick XYZ," but they're not the same team.
No, they're not.
Like I said, the Broncos have been just undervalued ever since they got thrashed by Miami. No one has been able to put that out of their mind.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I'm taking the Broncos here for sure. 7 points is what have the Bills done to deserve 7.5 points?
I agree. I like Denver to cover. I think Buffalo wins outright.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe.
I think they will. But the thing that bothers me the most about Buffalo, you look at the last couple of weeks when they were heavy favorites against the Giants and how they struggled there. You know what I'm saying? Like
back-to-back weeks, and they lost to the Patriots.
Right. This is no longer it was a bad week. This is who they are at this point. Week in, week out, they struggle to score points. They struggle to put teams away. And Denver's defense is much better, as you mentioned, than what we saw against that Miami situation back in like week 3.
This might be the easy money of the week.
Yeah.
Points is just. I mean, if you got this is what I'm telling people. If you got a parlay, or if you want to play a straight bet and you want to be safe, do this at 7. And if you want to put this on a parlay, tease it up to 6. You'll still get good value. And you're going to be comfortable. You're going to be like, damn, the Broncos will probably win this game. I think going to the fourth quarter, you're going to be like, I don't know who's going to win this game.
I'm going to put this one because, like I said, I like the points here for Denver. With the next game I want to introduce to you, because to me, this is my upset of the week. Detroit at Chargers. Detroit is favored by 3. I like the Chargers as outright winners, but if you want to play it safe, take the points. I think the Chargers are starting to click a little bit, and I think that we're still a little too high on Detroit. Detroit has been shaky the last couple of weeks as well, especially coming off that loss to Baltimore they had.
So me being the guy that I am, I got this at 1.5 on Sunday when the joint just broke. So I'm comfortable at my 1.5. I think 3 is a little strong. Also, there's a lot of data that says if a line moves by about 2.5 points or more, you're probably on the wrong side of the number, and we're getting close to that. So your points, Eric, I understand, but the Chargers have just beat bad teams, man. You know, this game is at what time?
This is the 4:00 game. 4:10 start.
This game should be high scoring, right? You would expect it to be. I'm taking a lot. 3 is a lot. 3 is a lot for a team like the Lions. Weather's gonna be good out there. It should be, right? Southern California. I see why you say that. I'm just going to disagree.
All right. So you like Detroit, but you got them at 1.5. You said.
I got him at 1.5, but even with the 3, the 3 is tough. 3 is tough. See, why are these games at 3, not 3.5?
I told there are going to be several pushes this week. If you look, you got the Colts -2, you got the Saints -3, you got the Bucks -1, San Fran, who we're going to get to, -3. You got Atlanta -2, Detroit -3. Like they're Seattle -6. There are solid numbers across the board.
Yeah. Because to me,
there's going to be multiple pushes this week.
Because to me, I just see this as maybe being a tie game in the fourth quarter, and whoever got it goes down the field, kicks a field goal. I mean, I'm going to take the Lions and the points though. I'll take them at the 3.
Okay. Let's go to your Commanders at Seattle. Seattle's favored by 6 in this game. Can the Commanders keep it within a touchdown?
Eric, we win this game.
Ooh, I'm assuming it's your upset pick.
Yeah. We win it.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it because I'm a fan. As you know, I've bet against my team. I told you my team ain't going to do nothing a lot of weeks. What we are witnessing and watching is really Geno Smith being a bad quarterback, inconsistent quarterback, and Sam Howell being a undervalued quarterback. I think this is going to be the week that people are going to start respecting Sam Howell nationally. You look at all the stats, look at all the numbers. We have top 5 quarterback. Sam Howell statistically is there. And Seattle's defense is a little overrated to me. It truly is. When we play best when no one expects us to do anything. The minute people expect us to do something, it's over. Like we're gonna beat Seattle, Washington, Eric, and we're gonna lose to the Giants next week. That's what's gonna happen.
I don't think the Giants are gonna beat anybody the rest of the season.
I'm telling you, if we beat Seattle, we will lose to the Giants for sure.
I don't think y'all beat Seattle. I think Seattle. This is who Seattle is. They look good at home. Their offense looks way better at home.
That Browns at home. I'll tell you that.
Well, again, the Browns. That defense is legit. And that's a tough spot, but
their offense was looking legit too with PJ Walker against the Seattle. Do you remember that? It was going up and down the field against
I think there's a game that the Commanders keep competitive, but I like Seattle to win this game. The 6 may be a little high.
Wait for 6.5 if you got it. It's going to get to 6.5. It was at 6.5 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I think that's way too high. To me, this should have been more about 3.5. This should have been right around 3.5. 6 is a lot.
People don't respect Sam Howell yet. I'm saying this is going to be.
It may be that, but I just think like that's just Seattle has been so inconsistent. How can you make them a touchdown favorite against anybody?
I agree. This is going to be a reverse parlay. Commanders by 6.
Okay. And then, like I said, the rest of the games we got a pretty decent. And oh, by the way, I didn't say it then. I think you and I agree. We both got. I have Dallas's 401k pick.
Oh, what? Hey, Young, I kind of want to just take. Look, I kind of want to drain my account and just put my money on Dallas minus 10, not 17, but minus 10.
Yeah. Just take that. Yeah, take it down to 10. Exactly. I may even like split it in half, take it down to like 8.5.
Yeah.
And just
do.
Yeah. Make it a little safer there. But yeah, I like them a lot. San Fran at Jacksonville. I think this is gonna be a very good game.
Yeah.
San Fran is favored by 3 in Jacksonville. I will say some of the comments earlier highlighted it. The Niners are looking like they're going to be healthy. Trent Williams and Debo were back at practice this week. Does Brock Purdy get it together?
No. Jags plus 3.
Ooh.
Taper's out on Brock Purdy. I mean, I know they got the weapons, but the taper's out on Brock Purdy. The Jaguars are a good team too. The Jaguars, are they on a 4-game or 5-game winning streak? They hot.
5-game winning streak.
Yeah, they're hot. They're gonna beat the Niners. The Niners defense has not looked good. Forget their offense. Forget it. Take their offense off the board. Their defense has not been this upper echelon defense to me. They just haven't been. So I think the Jaguars definitely cover for sure.
For the Jags and Detroit are both in unique situations because both teams are 6-2. We talked about Detroit playing in LA. If Detroit gets past this Charger game, there's a real chance that the Lions get to about 12, maybe even 13 wins. If you look at the rest of their schedule, they're probably only going to be underdogs in like 2 more games the rest of the year.
Really? It's sweet like that?
Yeah, so looking back at it, because this is one of the things I was checking on, like, could this be a trap game? Detroit kind of get caught looking ahead and kind of feeling themselves. But I'll go down a rundown for you of Detroit's schedule after this game. They got home against the Bears, home against the Packers. They go to the Saints. They go to the Bears. They get the Broncos in Detroit. They get the Vikings in Minnesota. They got to go to Dallas, and then they end the year against the Vikings. The only game left that they probably going to be underdogs is that Dallas game, which is on December 30th.
And that game, depending on where they at, they might not even be
there's a legit chance that if the Lions win this game this week, the Lions are going to get to maybe 12 wins this year, which would completely shift the way we look at the NFC, because then 12 wins puts you in the mix for best record. Even though I think Eagles are going to have best record, that puts you in a mix.
Yeah, they'll be in the mix, but I wouldn't choose. I wouldn't if they got to go outside in the elements,
right?
In January,
that offense is different. The Jaguars also 6-2. After this week, the biggest test they have left will be the Bengals on December 4th, and that is in Jacksonville.
Ooh, that's gonna be big.
And the Ravens in Jacksonville on December 17th.
They got them both at home.
Yep. Every other game on their schedule, they're going to be favored. After this Niner game, they get the Titans at home. They got to go to the Texans. Then they got that Cincinnati game I mentioned. They got the Browns, which could be interesting depending on where the Browns are. And then they got the Ravens. Then the last 3 games of the season, at Tampa Bay, home against Carolina, on the road against Tennessee. The Jaguars are another team that if they get past this week, they have the inside track to possibly 12 wins and being in the mix for best record in the AFC. Now, they don't have that tiebreaker against Kansas City. You know, they lost that. Their games against Baltimore and Cincinnati will have a lot of impact. I say all that to say this. I think the 49ers beat them this week. I think the 49ers get back on track. Kyle Shanahan coming off a bye week, I think is just as good game planning as MVP.
Are you saying they covering, though?
Yeah, I think the 49ers cover, and I think the narrative Monday morning will be the 49ers are back.
The narrative is going to be is Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch going to be fired for quarterback malpractice.
Okay.
That's what the narrative is going to be, because the only reason they have escaped that thus far is because of Brock Purdy. What they gave up, who they traded away, and their management of the quarterback position has been nothing but malfeasance. And I'm telling you, when Brock Purdy looks trash and he has multiple turnovers, it's going to be, wow, they really wasted this window for the 49ers.
Yeah. That could be the narrative, but I don't think it will be. I think Monday is going to be the 49ers are back, and now that they're healthy, Brock Purdy looks like his old self. What are we missing? Oh, Texans at Cincinnati. I think the game that I'm probably looking forward to the most. I want to see.
I know the game to the most. The game we're looking forward to the most, we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, it's still up there. I know which one you're talking about. Texans at Cincinnati is the one I really like. CJ Stroud has looked amazing.
Yeah.
The Bengals defense, I think, is back on track.
Yep.
The Bengals are favored by 6.5. I think the line is a little high, but I like Cincinnati to win, and so therefore I'll probably work them down maybe to 3.5. But I like Cincinnati to win this game and at least win by a little bit more than a field goal. I don't know if it's more than a touchdown.
For the record, you need to know if you're taking them at 6.5 or not.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm taking them at 6.5.
Yeah, me too. CJ Stroud's not the same quarterback on the road.
I don't know if he's not the same quarterback. I just think the Cincinnati defense is getting good right now.
Yeah. I think Cincinnati wins this game by about 10.
Fair. Right. It could still be a competitive game, but they win it 26.
I think we by 10. I think they probably down up like 4 or something like that to get a late touchdown. Yeah.
So that leaves us with the Browns at Baltimore.
Yeah.
Ravens favored by 6.5. Everybody and their mother is on the Ravens right now.
I know.
Which I think means that you and I are on the Browns.
I am.
Getting the 6.5 points.
Yeah. You give me a divisional dog, you give me a top 5 defense, I'm taking the points every time. I have to. I mean, the numbers say you have to take the Browns, even if you're wrong. If you take this bet more times than not, you're going to win more than you are. When we gamble, we're putting money in, we're betting. We're not saying, this is going to be 100%. We're saying, based on what we have here, you have more chances of winning than you are losing. The NFL is too hard to bet on and try to get right every week. You're trying to play spots and play numbers. When you have the public is all over the Ravens. They've been blowing out teams, blah, 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 blah. But they're not accounting for divisional matchups, being familiar, them smoking the Browns early. The Browns want to get their get back. They want to get their get back. And this is the time where they do it. Steelers, Browns. You remember early in the year, I took the Ravens to beat the Steelers. The Steelers won that game, covered. Was not a problem because the dynamics of those games are just different. It's just different. And the Browns here, they're gonna be no different. It's gonna be a 3 or 4 point game. It'll be ugly. It'll be in the trenches. If the Ravens blow out the Browns, and it's not Deshaun Watson just throwing the ball looking like Bryce Young, I'll be very impressed.
I'll be shocked if they blow out the Browns.
Yeah.
Couple things, as you mentioned. One, everybody's on the Ravens. This is the perfect time to fade them.
Yeah.
Another thing, this is the prototypical trap game, as I highlighted. Yes, they're not going to look too far past the Browns, but they know they have that showdown coming up with Cincinnati on Thursday night. That's looming.
Yeah.
Also, when they played the Browns earlier this season, I think that game you throw that away.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson was a late scratch in that game. They had no idea who was going to start at quarterback for them. The backup quarterback found out literally 2 hours before kickoff that he was playing.
Yep.
This time they will be much more prepared for the Ravens. I expect this to be a very close game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns.
And they know Lamar.
They know Lamar, yes.
Okay.
And I would not be surprised if the Browns even win this game.
Me either. I wouldn't be surprised either. I think the way you slow down Lamar, the way you slow down the Ravens, in my opinion, is making Lamar one-dimensional. Now, it's really hard to do that. But the teams that can are the ones that are in his division because they play him all of the time. That's why those games are always so close. Lamar Jackson had the last time Lamar Jackson looked like, I guess, human, or the Ravens looked human, was when they played the Steelers. Now, there was a lot of drop passes, don't get me wrong, in that game, etc. But they weren't drop passes against someone else. I mean, there's something about those games, divisional matchups. I mean, 6.5 is crazy. Now, this is like 4.5, 3.5. I'll be on the Ravens. But 6.5? For defense like that, that's tough.
Yeah, I agree. The picks are in, Vern. We got to put together a nice little ticket. It's a winning weekend, as always. Before we wrap up, though, give me a final thought.
Final thought, man. My final thought this week is going to be about women college basketball, man. It's so good. Like, USC, I was looking at the girl Watkins. Oh, when she beat Ohio State. Went back to look at her high school film. Amazing. You got the freshman South Carolina. I mean, I'm just looking forward to the matchups in the women college basketball arena. I know people don't like the WNBA, and guess what? The WNBA, in my opinion, can be a much better product. But the women's college basketball, they got the rivalries, they got the matchup, they got the players. I'm trying to tell y'all, tune in when you're watching some of these players play. It is must see too. Like I said, when I was watching Thursday Night Football and I was watching Caitlin Clark at the same time, and I was honestly more interested in Caitlin Clark because that game was just absolutely trash. So, if you can, man, just tune in and just watch them do their thing. You're on mute.
My fault. That's a fact. The women's game continues to elevate, and the product at the college level is amazing. We can't overlook that. Shout out to all the supporters, man. The comment section was going crazy before I even logged in.
Oh yeah.
I logged in around 8:45 and I saw how many questions and comments we already had. I'm like, oh man, we on a roll. But we thank you guys. We'll be back next week. We got to figure out what we're gonna do for Thanksgiving. Because obviously I know everybody's gonna be with their family. So that might be a Friday we skip.
Yeah.
But if we skip it, we'll find a way to put the picks out there so everybody knows who we taking. But for my brother Vernon Brownlee, Will Gordon tapped out early.
Meter was blinking crazy.
I sent him a message. He still ain't respond. So I was still trying to
the chart.
He
bro.
He trying to get himself together. But we'll figure it out for next week. We'll see y'all then, man. Enjoy y'all weekend.
Yeah, Ario.